you both have been working with a lot of teams lately where you've had to step in with a base business team, yet help them adopt this new way of working to be able to de-risk a set of ideas by a given decision or stage gate. So will you just, like, would love to understand, like, what do you think works well, or what are the things that you need to think about, or the discipline or structure that you have to put in place in order to help those teams, even in a confined setting, still be able to have the freedom to adopt thinking like this?
Go ahead, Heather.
It's interesting because I think one of the biggest hurdles or pitfalls is that teams are afraid to commit to a choice. And so it's like, well, we could offer this in this shape, or we could offer this in this packaging, or we could offer this in this size. And it's like, in order to truly learn whether something's working or not, you have to pick a way forward. And so really driving discipline around making choices and being okay with, if you make that choice, you then have the power to pivot, perish, or persevere the idea, ends up being a really empowering way for teams to start to say, I can stop worrying about all the directions we haven't taken until a consumer tells me, or until I get to a spot where I have enough evidence that says this way forward won't work, right? And I think teams just aren't used to that. They get nervous because there's endless possibilities, and it's this worry about, like, have I picked the right way or the wrong way? And I think in innovation, there can be 10 right ways forward, right? It's like, you got to pick one and make sure it works with your team, your brand's equity, the guardrails that you've got, the consumer need that you're solving for, and all of those things. And then if it does, then you just have to trust your gut and keep going until you are proven otherwise, right? So I think that would be one of the big things I've seen.
And I think what's been really, like, especially Heather and I are on a project now, I think it's been really powerful to be able to make some of these decisions at the end of these learning loops to say, like, hey, we're okay with not moving forward with that now, which I think even in that is a huge mindset shift to say, like, I'm okay with leaving something behind for right now because it doesn't deliver on the challenge that is ahead of me. And I think that we have seen that a ton with this type of learning, is just being able to, like, be confident enough to say, it's okay. We don't have to, we've even changed really the language we're using around that. Instead of saying perish the idea, we would say shelve the idea, right? Like, it's not that you can't come back to it. It's just that for this particular moment and challenge, we are moving forward in a different way because there's way more evidence to support that that's the way we should move forward. So I think even just being able to make that decision is a mindset shift.